Find sizzling savings at Brookings Auto Mall. We've made a special purchase of 2016 Chevy Malibus, 8 to choose from starting at just $13,995. Details at brookingsautomall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. What's in your driveway?
A busy highway in the northern Black Hills is closed by a rock slide. This morning, we'll tell you where the slide happened and when authorities hope to reopen the road. Plus, the closing of a Sioux Falls trucking company leaves more than 30 people without jobs. How out-of-work truckers are responding, coming up. Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have a long list of boredom busters, but first, our top story. A kayaking outing ended with a water rescue in the Big Sioux River last night. The Minnehaha County Sheriff's Department says 4 people in 2 kayaks were swept away in the swift current of the river west of the Big Sioux Recreation Area in Brandon. The kayakers, 2 adults and 2 children, were able to grab onto a tree that was in the water. First responders used a rescue boat to bring all 4 people safely to shore. The Sheriff's Department is reminding everyone to use life jackets when they're in the water. A rock slide has closed a stretch of road in the northern Black Hills. Highway 14A from Sturgis to Deadwood is shut down because of rocks falling from the cliffs along Boulder Canyon. The Highway Patrol has set up roadblocks on both sides of the highway. Troopers describe the rocks as the size of small vehicles. Authorities hope to reopen the road later today. In the meantime, drivers should take U.S. Highway 85 to get to Interstate 90. Local truck drivers say they were caught by surprise with the sudden closing of a Sioux Falls trucking firm. LME has ceased operations, leaving more than 30 people out of work at its Sioux Falls office, plus hundreds more at terminals throughout the Midwest. LME hasn't given a reason for the closing. Former LME employees spent much of Friday looking for new jobs, encouraged that many trucking companies are looking to fill openings for drivers. We're getting our first attendance totals for the Levitt at the Falls Summer Outdoor Concert Series. The first free performances at the Levitt Shell in downtown Sioux Falls began 1 month ago this weekend. A total of more than 18,000 people have attended concerts through the 4th of July. That's an average of 1,445 people per show. Jonathan Bird and the Pickup Cowboys perform tonight at 7 o'clock. Well, let's find out if rain is still in the weekend forecast for KELOLAND. Here's meteorologist Grant Smith in the Storm Center. Good morning, Grant.
Yes, Perry, looks like more rain is in the forecast, although it's going to be very isolated and not really organized. And it's all just because we have this big upper level ridge of hot high pressure building over the western half of the U.S. And this kind of pattern usually brings some very warm weather. So our forecast reflects that, looking at highs in the 90s to near 100 degrees tomorrow. Today we're looking at early morning storms fading out, but then during the heat of the day this afternoon, more isolated storms redeveloping. Highs will be in the 80s to near 90 degrees today, and the hot and humid forecast continues well into the 7-day forecast. As far as the future scan forecast for today, as I mentioned, those morning storms clear out, so we're looking at sunshine this afternoon. But we are looking at seeing some redevelopment of some thunderstorms later on during the heat of the day. We'll talk about those forecast details and your 7-day here in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Grant. Well, hot Harley nights in Sioux Falls wrap up with a day of riding and rock and roll, all to benefit Make-A-Wish South Dakota. Events include the Ret Rotten Wall of Death motorcycle stunt shows at noon, 2 and 4 o'clock at J&L Harley-Davidson. A motorcycle parade led by Make-A-Wish kids leaves J&L Harley at 5:30. The parade arrives at the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds at 5:45. That's followed by concerts featuring Whiskey Rich, the Ron Keel Band, and Night Ranger. More than 200 artists are showing and selling their works at the Brookings Summer Arts Festival. The free festival goes from 10 to 7 at Pioneer Park in Brookings. Parking is available on side streets and public lots downtown. You can also hop a shuttle bus to the festival at the South Dakota Agricultural Museum. Neutrino Day is a festival celebrating science and the arts in Leeds, South Dakota. Activities include tours of the Sanford Underground Lab starting at 8:30 this morning, and Cabot Ann Christofferson gives a talk on the case for curiosity in science at 11 a.m. at the historic Homestake Opera House. There are also games and hands-on art projects throughout the day. Family days at Larchwood, Iowa include a car show and burnouts. Activities get underway at 10:45 with a parade. That's followed by the car show in Larchwood Park from 1 to 3. The car show is free for spectators. Fleet Farm in Sioux Falls is hosting a free kids fishing day. Young anglers can learn knot tying and casting, plus fishing safety and proper life vest fitting from 11 to 3. Check out more Board and Busters at KELOLAND.com. Grant?
All right, well, we're seeing these morning thunderstorms are projected to fade out. So this afternoon, we're going to start the day off. We just get a forecast here. Just a few clouds overhead in the east and the southeast and central South Dakota. But watch as we go during the heat of the day. That's when the leftover energy from this morning may fire up some thunderstorms in parts of eastern and southeastern KELOLAND, right about there. And some of those thunderstorms may be strong to severe, with hail and wind being the main concerns. And then they'll fade out during the evening. And then once we get to the overnight watch, western South Dakota, we'll see a little bit of energy come through as the bulk of the energy looks to pass us to the north in North Dakota. But these thunderstorms may affect parts of western and northern South Dakota as that system kind of side swipes through the area. But central and southeastern KELOLAND tomorrow, looking at a lot of sunshine and very warm temperatures. And those warm temperatures will last into next week. But as far as the severe weather outlook, once again, just a marginal risk today. Main concern is going to be wind and hail. There is a risk for heavy rain that may cause light localized flooding. That's in this area here. Once again, all of these risks are pretty low because the overall pattern just really isn't there to get a lot of severe weather because of that right there. Upper level ridge of high pressure settles in. And it's really not going to go anywhere for your 7-day forecast. So you're going to notice a lot of very warm weather on the forecast. So here's your forecast for today. 80s to low 90s, isolated thunderstorms possible a little bit later on during the heat of the day. And then during the overnight, looks like thunderstorms in the west, but otherwise clearing skies in the central and east as temperatures cool to the 60s to 70s. Tomorrow, a lot more 90s on the map. Even central and south central South Dakota pushing the 100-degree mark. Very warm air. That very warm air lasts into next week. Next chance for showers or thunderstorms is going to be on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday for the Sioux Falls area. Late Tuesday into Wednesday for the northeast. Still seeing temperatures in the upper 80s to 90s, above average weather as we head into next week. Up here, looking at reaching the upper 80s to low 90s at least. A few days there, mixed in, could be reaching the upper 90s. Chance for thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday. Western South Dakota and the Black Hills, chance for thunderstorms near daily. Temperatures reaching the 80s to low 90s out in the west.
Well, thank you for joining us for KELOLAND on the Go. You can get up-to-the-minute developments right here on KELOLAND.com. Have a great day.